A summer day at Disney World and Universal Orlando can be brutal with 90-degree heat, 10 miles of walking, and money traps all around that can hurt your wallet, but it's the way you pack that will make all the difference. If you have a summer trip to Disney World and or Universal Orlando coming up, I wanted to share with you 9 items you absolutely should not leave without. And essential number 9 is going to make the most difference in terms of cost savings, so let's go ahead and get on into it. Starting out with the essentials, these 3 things are going to be your trip lifesavers. The first thing is a mini hand fan. The Florida heat is no joke, and when you're going in the summer, it's going to be incredibly hot midday. The reason a fan is more important than you think is because at both parks, a lot of the lines are going to be outdoors where you're going to want more constant airflow on you whenever the air is stagnant and there's absolutely no breeze. Some of the lines do have fans whenever you're walking through the line, but a lot of times they're not on, or at Epic Universe, for example, there are canopies that are over top of the lines and they're not very well covered. You're going to want something that can keep you cool while you're waiting. And this is a very small, inexpensive essential that you can add to your park bag, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and your body temperature will thank you later on in the day. Now, this is a very small but mighty one that I've used in the parks. I love it because it's very small, fits inside of a park bag, but another thing you may want to consider if you have more space, depending on your park bag or if you're using a stroller or not, is having a misting fan. This is one you can actually put water inside, and whenever you press the misting button, there's a mist that will come out. Just think about the space that you have when packing and which one you would want inside of the parks. The second absolute lifesaver, if there's anything you take away from this video, it has to be a solar umbrella this summer. This has been game-changing for me when going to both Disney World and Universal Orlando, especially at Epic Universe since there's very little shade. This is a nice dual-purpose essential because it not only helps you whenever the Florida storms pop up midday, that way you can walk around and not have your day cut short. You can still have something that's going to keep you dry. But this is also nice during the day whenever it is peak sunshine, no clouds, no shade, because it has a UV protecting layer underneath that you can use it to walk around and shade yourself and your body inside of the park. I will be the first to say it feels very weird to walk around the park when there's no rain and using an umbrella. It feels very different, but your body will thank you. And also the amount of direct sun exposure to your skin, it can help you to avoid sunburn during the day, which you do not want during a theme park vacation. The other essential you will need is some type of portable charger. I know when you're going on vacation, you want to be able to unplug, but you will be on your phone a lot for taking photos, accessing the Universal Orlando or the My Disney Experience app. That is going to be a lifeline that you have during your visit because it has your park tickets, it has the park maps, it helps you to make mobile orders and dining reservations. A portable charger has been my favorite thing, not only as a content creator, but just as a standard park goer in terms of portable chargers. I do like the ones that have the cords built in, so that way you can not only charge your phone, but also any external cameras or other devices that you want to charge during the day. This is one that I have been using that does not have cords built in, but I do just use a cord that comes out of this port, and it also is a mag-safe one. If you're going to the parks and you're not using an external camera or extra accessories that need charge during the day, this is super user-friendly because you can still use it inside of the parks, but it also just mag-safes to your phone and it charges nicely inside of the park. The only tip in terms of devices that you're going to want to have charged for your park day is to not forget to charge this the night before your visit. There have been a couple of times that I've made the mistake of using it during the day and then forgetting to charge it, and the next day I don't have it fully charged. Comfort and convenience is key inside of the parks during the summertime, so the next 3 items are going to help you and your family during your visits remain comfortable and happy with each other. And I wanted to talk about the most important thing, comfortable shoes. These are a couple of things you'll want to keep in mind. I'm going to share some of my favorites, like all of these items that I'm sharing, but at the end of the day, make sure you're choosing options that work for you. In terms of shoes, you do not want to be wearing new shoes to the theme parks. That is a common misconception that I see with park guests, but you want to make sure that you have your shoes broken in, you've already worn them, and you know that they're comfortable. If you can, it's nice to bring at least 2 pairs in case one gets wet or you find out that one isn't as comfortable as you thought it would be. It's also nice to switch up the feel of your feet during your visit, so I usually try to prioritize bringing at least 2 pairs of shoes, and also, if possible, trying to find some type of waterproof option for whenever it is raining or you're going on some type of water ride and you want your shoes to dry easily. Absolutely recommend some type of waterproof feature. The first type of shoes I want to recommend, you may have seen before, these are the Kuru Atom 2s. I am someone that has very high arches, and if you are someone like that, highly recommend checking out Kuru footwear. They have great arch support and also also help if you have plantar fasciitis. But the reason I like these ones is because it's not uncommon to do anywhere from 8 to 12 miles a day at these theme parks since they are so big. And I love the Kuru Atom 2s because they have great arch support, great stability in the base that I can walk around and know they're comfortable for a whole day. They slip on very easily. And I also like them too because if they do get wet, they are pretty breathable and they don't dry super quickly, but I know that overnight they'll dry and I can use them the next day if needed. Something that is pretty unconventional in terms of theme park shoes that I wear are the Croc wedges. Like I said before, it's great to find items that are waterproof, especially in terms of shoes. I have used these for the past 5 years and absolutely love them because they come in multiple colors. They pair really nicely with park outfits because there are ways that you can combine comfort and fashion when it comes to planning out your outfits. A very interesting thing that you'll want to think about in terms of footwear for Universal Orlando is finding shoes that have some kind of backing or support that can strap onto your foot. There are rides that flip you upside down in more intense roller coaster type rides, and I do see people that are wearing flip-flops or shoes that don't have backings and they end up losing their shoes on the rides. You don't want to have that happen. Highly recommend finding ones that have straps on the back to make sure they're secure. There is another essential that we'll get onto this list that I do pair with these Croc wedges and are an absolute must, so that way you can avoid blisters, but we will get to those. The other thing in terms of footwear that I have run into recently is finding a pair of shoes that I really like and would like to wear to the theme parks, but they don't fit my arches or the right foot support that I would want during the day. What we have found and what my husband and I have started using are these insoles. I'm sure there's so many different types that you can get, but this is a brand called Superfeet, and the reason I like them is because they come out with a couple of different arch support options. My husband doesn't have the highest arches, so these are the medium ones, but I did go to Dick's Sporting Goods and try on the higher arch support for people like me that have high arches, and I'm very excited to add these as a park essential for some other tennis shoes that I have been wearing and trying to break in, but realizing they don't have the arch support that fits for me. So if you're someone who already has shoes, they're already broken in, but you would like a little bit more arch support, adding some type of insoles to your shoes that could potentially be helpful. And they do have a more sporty option, but so far we've loved this brand of Superfeet and just wanted to share it as a recommendation for shoes you may already have. The comfort essential that goes along with these shoes that I always like to pair and don't want to leave out is some type of anti-chafe stick. When you are walking around experiencing the parks, it is not uncommon to get some type of blisters or run into chafing during the day since you're doing so much walking. And I have loved using an anti-chafe stick, especially for the Croc wedges, because a lot of the comments that I've gotten from people who have either tried these and not found as much success with them is they weren't using an anti-chafe stick. I always like using the anti-chafe stick over the strap areas and applying it in the morning. This is also something you can add to your park bag to reapply during the day, or if you go back for a midday break, you can always apply it. And in terms of convenience, you will want to have something that's going to hold all of your essentials during the day, which is why I wanted to bring up a perfect park bag that you can wear to both of these parks. I won't get into the weeds with this, even though I could talk about Disney and Universal Park bags all day. I have a separate video that I'll share some potential options that may work better for you. You can find that in the description below. But in terms of Disney park bags, Disney World is very backpack friendly, where you can actually bring your bags on the rides with you. So I don't have many stipulations or requirements that you should look into whenever it comes to a Disney park bag. The only thing I'd recommend is finding a bag that has nice padded straps, is lightweight, but also big enough that it can hold items during the day. This has been one of my go-tos. It is a Vera Bradley backpack. It is a little bit water resistant, and it also cleans easily if there's any stains on it, but it has pockets inside, great to hold items and stay organized. The other bag is a Loungefly backpack. There are so many different styles and designs that you can get for this. They have great padded straps, pockets all around. A brand I wanted to highlight that has recently been doing Disney styles is Orbit Key. I do get comments a lot that people don't necessarily want to bring a backpack. They'd rather have a fanny pack style bag, and they have a couple of different sizes of fanny packs. The thing I wish that you could feel is the quality of the material of these bags. They are water resistant. They have great storage space and organization, and they also are small but mighty, kind of like the hand fan, where it has this expandable gusset that it can expand and you can fit a lot of items inside, but also if you just want it flat to your body or great for packing, it does collapse down. This is their Toy Story collection. They have Mickey and Minnie, Donald, so many different options that I really like. And they also have neutral colors and neutral options that you could also use to wear at the Universal Orlando parks. In terms of Universal Universal Orlando park bags, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. The one thing you want to know is for select rides, you do have to put your belongings in a ride locker, and some of the rides you have to go through metal detection and put everything inside of the locker. But the key thing is you do get access to free lockers that are not necessarily super tall, but they are deep. The thing that I like using for Universal Orlando is some type of sling style backpack or bag, and slides easily inside of the ride lockers. And some of the rides actually do let you use fanny pack style bags on the ride, so I always ask the team member before getting on the ride if my bag is okay. In the past, this North Face field bag has been perfect. It's been able to ride on select rides that don't require the metal detection. Since it can fit on front of you, this is one that can be perfect for Disney World and Universal Orlando that I have used in past trips. But if you are wanting to use a backpack like I usually do, I love bringing Loungefly bags. That has been one of the only backpack style bag I've used at Universal Orlando. But the thing you'll want to note when you're choosing the bag, make sure it's one that doesn't necessarily have the front pocket on the front of the bag. This is going to help it to slip inside of the ride lockers better, and it won't damage your bag. I have been able to use bags that do have the front pocket, but you kind of have to squish it down and push it in the locker. You don't want to scrape the bag since the material is more of a faux leather material. And it's always nice to have some money saving strategies when going into your theme park visits. And I guarantee these next three items are going to be way cheaper if you purchase them ahead of time rather than inside of the parks. The first thing are some type of electrolyte powders. Dehydration can sneak up on you so quickly during the day. Even if you are trying to replenish with just water, that's not enough for how much you're going to be sweating. So I always like adding hydration multiplier or electrolyte to my park bag. Whenever I'm planning my trips, I always bring at least one of these per day of my visit. So if I'm going for a 4-day trip, I try to bring at least 4 of these to add and drink at least midday, or to give me a boost to get me to the end of the park day. Liquid IV has always been my go-to brand, only because they have so many different flavors that you can try. They have come out with sugar-free options, and then they also have their regular options. It is really convenient that they come in these sticks, and they do have a kids option. So if you're looking for a kids hydration multiplier, they do have that available as well. If I could recommend some flavor options, I do really like the watermelon flavor. It's a perfect summer flavor. The strawberry has been really good, and sea berry and passion fruit are my all-time favorites of the Liquid IV flavors. I did recently get this brand from Amazon. It's called Protocol. The reason that this might be nice is because it actually just comes in a giant bag and a scoop that you can scoop into your water bottle. The only thing is you may want to just use this at the beginning of the day because you don't want to necessarily have loose powder to use inside of your park bag, inside of the Disney parks or the Universal Orlando parks. You can buy Powerade and other sports drinks inside of the parks, but those are anywhere from $5 and up a bottle, and that's going to add up during your day. So I recommend just getting a pack of hydration multipliers, put it in your suitcase, and be able to use it during your trip. The other thing you absolutely don't want to buy in either of these parks and want to pack with you are all of your sunscreen essentials. I know you probably have sunscreen options that you like personally, so definitely have those packed if you already have them. But if you're looking for some suggestions, I wanted to share my 3 staples with you. In terms of sunscreen that I use on my face or on my shoulders, I use this brand Tokobo. I really like it because it is a watery sunscreen. It's very lightweight and it doesn't feel sticky or heavy, but it also is nice to provide that all-day protection that you need. It also has travel sizes available that you can put in your park bag if you wanted to reapply during the day. I do have an entire video of the makeup routine that I do for Disney park days and Universal park days. I can link that in the description. In terms of foundation, the main thing that I use in the parks is this protectant from Supergoop. So it has a little bit of a tint to it, but it does have SPF protection inside it too. So I'll use this with a little makeup sponge and put it all over my face. I love how it feels. It's not super heavy or clogging on your skin, but it's been really great to provide that SPF protection I need during the day, but also kind of even out my skin for park days. And this is another item that I have had for a while, but have started to lean into. It's some type of SPF powder. This is a perfect beginning of the day essential, but also midday, that it doesn't take up a lot of space in your bag. And it is a pressed powder. You can twist this and it opens up the powder. and then you can see some of the product coming out. You can just brush it on. It's really nice to do this on your face, even out your makeup look. So if you are feeling greasy or sweaty, you can kind of add this little setting powder to add some SPF, but also get rid of the greasy look. And then another place that you want to use this is on your scalp, because my scalp always burns in the park, and it helps provide some sun protection if you're wearing Minnie Mouse ears or if you're wearing the universal headbands and you don't have a hat to wear during the day. Last but certainly not least is 100% going to be a money saver for you, but also an essential you need in the parks. That's some type of water bottle, whether it's a plain plastic water bottle, a stainless steel water bottle, or a filtered water bottle. Definitely pack some type of water bottle in your park bag so that way you can save money during the day and also stay hydrated. It is not uncommon for it to be anywhere from $4 to $6 per bottle of water that you're buying inside of the park. At Universal Orlando, they do have the Coke Freestyle machines that you can refill with ice cold water. And then at Disney World, you can go up to quick service restaurants or the refillable water stations and refill your water bottle during the day. I wanted to share a recommendation because a lot of people do not like the taste of Florida water, especially the water from the Disney parks. Some type of filtered water bottle that can filter out the taste. The Brita water bottles have been ones that I've gotten suggestions from in the comment section, and they also work really nice because they do have stainless steel options that can keep your water cold but also help with the flavor issue. At Universal Orlando, people love using collapsible water bottles. I've seen ones that collapse down very thin. They actually hook them onto their belt that they can walk around if they don't have a park bag, but also it opens up and is expandable so that way you can fill it and drink throughout the day. This is a very poor example, but just to show you what it may look like to have some type of foldable or collapsible bottle inside of your bag to use in the parks. So those are items I would not forget to bring to Disney or Universal this summer that can help in terms of essentials, money saving tips, and comfort inside of the parks. But if you did need help picking out the right park bag or when it comes to makeup essentials, I have 2 separate videos here that I wanted to direct you to that can give you a little bit more of a look into what you should pack and what you should bring. Let me know what you'll be packing this summer for the theme parks. I'm always looking for suggestions. Enjoy your time there, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.